All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of the pod.
Mm.
I'll get into it, but as you can see, you see boxes, you see this entire shelf thing completely emptied. This is the last pod at this house. I move Saturday into my own home, which I do have to say, I think we're gonna have to skip this week's Pokemon.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That ain't no problem.
Uh, yeah.
We'll pick it back up.
Should be back next week. Hopefully, I can get everything set up.
Side note, this is probably the most fun I've had playing a Pokemon game so far for this series that we've been doing. I think I'm really enjoying the Ruby and Sapphire.
I mean, I'm having a great time as well. He's frozen. We'll get him back in a second.
Uh-oh, he's froze.
Yeah, there he
Oh,
is.
hello.
But yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed. I mean, and I know you've enjoyed all three. I'm having a hard time
Right.
picking. I still think overall, I think I like the Heart Gold playthrough more.
Yeah. Well, we're also not done with this one yet, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll see, because I mean, there was just that Claire fight. That's gonna be tough to beat in terms of cinema. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And coming back from it too, and then taking the Fire type gym leader team into
Yeah,
the Elite Four.
that yeah.
taking care of business.
Committing to the bit, becoming a fire
Yeah.
type trainer. Yeah. But we'll see if there's definitely moments already in this playthrough though.
Yeah, that Flannery fight was no joke.
Flannery was a fucking tough one. I mean, me getting
Almost
Torchic.
losing my Swampert to the fucking Electrode in the
Yeah.
last stream. Critical hit explosion left me with 1 HP.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
getting Torchic at all, add on the layer that like I shouldn't have. Like I actually should have had Snivy this whole time. Oh, after watching back the footage. Trico, yeah. Snivy's Gen 5, right?
5. Yep.
Just another grass starter I'm whatever on.
Until you use one. I hope you get Snivy. You're gonna get a great time.
Yeah. Well, next gen, that's the one I want the most is the grass type on that round.
Oh, for sure.
Got his
I'm
plushies
with
somewhere.
you on that one. I'd love me some.
Yeah.
I'm so
yeah.
glad platinum.
Well, now this has turned into a check-in on me first, so let me just finish up, I guess. Now that
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
accident. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, it's just been crazy with the move. Gonna go after I close on Friday. Go shopping for a bunch of stuff for the house. Already did the final walkthrough this week, which is why we're recording on a different day than normal, and why this pod came out a day later than normal. There it is. Gosh, I mean, yeah, but like, look, all of this stuff right here, like this is all my Power Ranger toys, minus this small bin right here. All these boxes are filled up. There's a tub here, and there's a tub under here just filled. Like I have fucking so many. Yeah. Oh, I've been playing basketball. I've been playing basketball during lunch at work. We only really played a game one day. We're gonna do. They skipped it this week. We're supposed to do Wednesdays, actually like play a couple of the guys at the shop. But all these other days, because we've only played once, and I was so bad, so bad. I was like I can't get embarrassed like that again. So I've been in the lab every other day at work, just getting shots up. I was getting shots up today. I was bad on defense. I couldn't pass. I can't also be a bad shooter. I'm gonna become a sniper. I'm gonna become fucking deadly. That's the goal. Seeing small improvements. Just journey of 1,000 steps. Just got to take this one step here and one step there. Get started. I think that's it for me on the check-in. But now, a little switch up on how we usually do it. Now I'm introducing the co-host with the most to boast, Mr. Avillion Talks. Jacob, how you doing?
Hello. Doing well. Mets have called up another pitching prospect in Jonah Tong. So Nolan McLean gets his third start tonight. Jonah Tong gets his first start on Friday. So Mets now have 2 rookie pitchers in the lineup. It's awesome. Very excited to watch him make his debut. Saturday, going to my mother's house. college football is actually back. It was back this past weekend, kind of. Shout out my Iowa State Cyclones getting the W in the first game of the season. I love me some Iowa State around here. Yeah, no, Tennessee's playing Syracuse. I'm gonna have to check that out. Some other good games on the docket. Texas is playing Ohio State. LSU is playing Clemson. And I think there's another really good one that's escaping me right now. But my mom was making wings. She said she'll make whatever I want. And I said, well, hey, it's football. Let's get some wings.
I
she's
ordered
making
wings for the fantasy draft for that same reason. Anything football related, great. I'm getting wings.
Yeah, it's tradition. Like I definitely want to get wings. NFL opening weekend. We'll see if I actually do it. I might not. But I'll figure that out. But yeah, no, that's I'm excited. I'm excited for for college football to be all the way back, and then of course NFL football the following week is all the way back. Sunday, I'm going to be getting brunch with a friend of mine, and then we're watching Young Justice after the fact. I have watched some more episodes, so we can talk about that for the What We've Been On segment, because he finally caught up to me, so now we watched like the next 8 episodes together last week.
Cool.
So I think that's about it. I don't think I have much else to report. So
let me stay lighthearted. All right, so we are going to talk about my fantasy team real quick. And I will have to talk about an insane blunder on my part that occurred. I don't know if I really detailed it in the group chat for you, but I mean, I talked about it a little bit.
I think you mentioned it.
Yeah. I'll just say the team, and then I'll say what happened after. All right, so my quarterback, I'll go through the starting roster first. My quarterback is Jalen Hurts, who he's like the perfect player for like don't let fantasy dictate your opinions on a player, because he's going to be great in fantasy.
Absolutely.
He has like high ups. He's got like, with his rushing ability, I mean, like there is potential. He's in the potential for QB1 in fantasy. I think he was 8th last year, so it's not like he's always going to be some top 5 monster or anything, but you just know that he could put up massive numbers any given Sunday.
Definitely.
My running backs, I got Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones. I got the King. And then, Aaron Jones is going to be in, I always, with Kevin O'Connell, I'm always going to think it's going to be a productive offense. He's not going to get a lot of the goal line work, but I've had him in fantasy previously where he wasn't going to be getting that, and he could still produce. But, another year older at that position is always scary. My wide receivers, here's the money. Nico Collins, DJ Moore. You'll see it even more as this goes on. I need Ben Johnson to be who I think he is. My fantasy team is very dependent on Ben Johnson being who I think he is, and Caleb Williams living up to what I think he can be as well. Tight end, George Kittle. I think this was my 4th pick. This is, especially with Debo gone, Brandon Ayuk coming off of his worst year. I think Juwan Jennings is banged up right now. Like, George Kittle's going to get a lot of work to do in the pass game. So that's, that should be good numbers there. Right now, the flexes are DK Metcalf and Travis Hunter. I think, like, the only defensive stats, like, for Travis Hunter, I'm very curious. Like, I don't think he's going to be getting tackles counted, but I wonder if I know a pick 6 will give me 6, but I wonder, like, does an interception give me points as well if he gets an interception?
Probably not, because that would go to Jags defense, I would imagine, and not to, like, I don't think Hunter would get points for that at wide receiver. Interesting conversation, though, as far as, like, how he's scored defensively if he does get anything, because that would make him certainly a lot more valuable.
I'm very interested how he gets scored in the ESPN league I'm in that I won last year, because they have individual defensive player positions. So I think he might get those defensive stats as well as his wide receiver production in that league. Because tackles, you get a point. Interception, you get points. Touchdowns, the defensive player gets points. I might need to, I really need to look into that and be sure, and then draft him.
Yeah.
But I needed a rookie wide receiver. That's always my good luck charm. Always has been in fantasy. Dating back to Justin
I'm the
Jefferson.
same way. Yeah, rookie wide receivers is
Always
and going
want
back
one.
to the well of last year. Brian Thomas Jr. was the guy last year.
Yep.
Go back
Yep.
to that same well. Take the Jacksonville first rounder again.
Yeah. That paid off for me last year. Because I had Justin Jefferson his rookie year, Jamar Chase his rookie year, I think Chris Olave his rookie year, and then Brian Thomas Jr. I might be missing a year in there of who I might have had or if I had anybody that year. But then anyways, my kicker, I got Brandon Aubrey. I was just at a slot where I was looking at the board. I was like, I kind of don't love anyone here. And I was like, fuck it. Let me get the best kicker in football. He's still here. Let me take that.
Yeah. Bears.
For defense, I got Steelers. I always swap defenses around, and week 1 they play the Jets. So I feel good about that.
Should be probably a good day.
And then my bench is Caleb Williams for quarterback. Like I said, I think he could. Ben Johnson, do what I think you can do. I think he could have a great year, especially as it goes along. This is where it's bad. My only backup running back, after already having Aaron Jones as RB2, is Trey Benson. This was like my last pick. I think it was my last pick. I just got fucked. The board fell terribly in terms of running backs after a certain point, and I don't want anyone to get hurt, but I need someone to get hurt for me to have a good year, running back wise.
Yeah.
My wide receivers are Roma Dunze. Like I said, I'm really fucking banking on what the fucking Bears can be. And then Michael Pittman, who had a really bad year last year.
You got enough receivers that you got to mortgage one of those guys for a running back. Like you got plenty. You got
I'm gonna let week 1 run, and first look at the waivers and then move from there. See if I could pick somebody up, and then move from there.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is on a team. Yeah, you did the draft late enough that he probably got drafted somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gabe got him.
Oh, okay, makes sense. I saw him get taken in the second pick of the 5th round in somebody's fantasy draft today. We have reached a point, a weird point with him, certainly. But he'll get the rep. So.
Oh, guys, he's like a top sleeper. He's still not supposed to go that high.
Yeah, like I know Brian Robinson's gonna. That doesn't mean Korkowski Merritt's gonna be rushing for $150 every single game. But
yeah. My backup tight end Kyle Pitts. I think this is the year. Michael Penix full year. I think it's the year, baby.
Caleb McGarry being down for the season does really hurt them because that is the blind side protector for Penix because the right tackle is the blind side for the lefties. So that is unfortunate. That might affect the passing game a bit, depending on because their backups like Brandon Parker or some bullshit. So I don't know. I don't know who their backup tackle is going to be in that scenario, but I can't imagine they're as good as Caleb McGarry. So we'll see.
And then I drafted Joe Mixon, and I was able to put him on IR because I didn't actually draft Pittman. I picked him up after I banked a slot. But also, Pittman could bounce back. But then also for Joe Mixon, like he was a top fantasy running back last year. We'll see what happens when he comes back. I was like, shit, if anybody is in a position of need to where there's decent upside on a running back they could stash, I'm the one who needs it right now. So I did that. Yeah.
Joe Mixon's another case of don't let fantasy convince you into thinking this guy's still that as good as he was, but
because it looks like he was running back 17 last year.
Houston's offensive line this year is also
terrible.
Putrid. Yeah,
but that could lead to quick dump offs to said running back.
Could be, yeah.
It's always
what are his rushing lanes gonna look like though?
Yeah. Oh, he was running back 17 with missing 3 weeks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because he had running back 2, performance, running back 2, running back 4, running back 8, running back 1, 4, 6.
Yep.
So, let me see. Did he have a lot of receptions? Maybe they are dumping to him. Receptions. 6 receptions, 4, 5. We'll see. But yeah.
We
But what
shall.
happened? Because my whole draft strategy got fucked, and it's why my running back position is so bad. In the third round, I took too long to pick. I was ultimately going to pick James Cook, but I took too long thinking it over and messing around because I was streaming it at the time, messing around with like playing the NFL draft audio when I pick a player. The time ran out. I got auto pick selected. The auto pick selected Jalen Hurts for me. I was freaking out, like, how the fuck do I turn it off? Turn it off. How do I turn it off? Came back around, it picked George Kittle for me. So it took two positions I don't like to draft high, back to back. Immediately, it was like, no, you're drafting these high. I was like, all right. And then I finally was able to turn it off.
There's worse you can do on auto pick than getting Jalen Hurts and George Kittle.
Yeah.
Like, even on a personally, I don't draft quarterback and tight end super high either. But if you're going to, it needs to be a quarterback with running upside and like one of those premium tight, because there's like 4 tight ends worth taking that high, and Kittle's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
So.
I once it happened, I looked at it and accepted that it happened because I was pissed for a minute. But once I accepted that it happened, I was like, okay. I looked at my first 4 picks and I was like, all right, well, I have somebody at like each position that has the chance to be the number 1 fantasy person in their position. With Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, Jalen Hurts, George Kittle. I'm not saying the favorites, but you know, all 4 have the possibility of being number 1 in fantasy at the position. I was like, all right. And then obviously I took Brandon Aubrey later. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna commit to this bit. Give me that. Yeah. I rebounded relatively well. I mean, just the running back group is very weak. Derrick Henry, do what you've been doing, brother. Carry this run game, King. Carry this run game. But my wide receivers I like so much, and then I have one of the tight ends that's gonna be putting up numbers.
Got some premium pass catchers in that offense, though.
Yeah.
Bye, sweetheart. Okay, bye, sweetheart.
But yeah, that's the team, and I'm looking forward to our draft on Saturday. I have 2 drafts; they're like back to back. One's at like 5:30, one's at 7.
I have one on Saturday and one on Sunday. So it's the sleeper draft on Saturday, right? And then the
the
other one's on Sunday. All right.
Yeah. Let me double check that because I have the 5th
I think
pick. In the league we're in together.
Okay, let me double check that. Actually, I forgot where I was picking.
Okay, that's not what Daddy clicked. Why does it not want to open? Hello? Avillion, Hours and Friends. Yeah, Saturday, 7:30. Because my ESPN one is Saturday at 5:30.
Oh, I'm 9th. Okay, I don't hate that. I like being either close to the back, or
near
close
the
to the
turns.
front. I want to be picking, back to back if I can.
I got 5th, so I am dead middle. But that means there's literally 5 guys that I'm like, okay, like there's 5 elite, like truly elite fantasy players that I think one's gonna be there for me.
Yeah, I took Genty 5th overall in the other league that I'm in.
Woo!
I believe I'm a
I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, big Ashton Genty guy over here. So.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm good. Actually, I think I'm good.
Well, we're not going to be good anymore because I guess now it's time.
It's time.
I think it's time. You kick us off. I feel like you're probably more in the. I don't know. Maybe you're more in the loop on it than me.
I do see a lot every day about it. So
because there's a lot going on every day about it.
It's pretty hard to avoid, in fact.
I mean, it takes one post, but I've seen enough to know where to stand.
So Brayden and I don't really get political on here. Mostly, probably just not alienate any, audience members or whatever. I'm fairly political. Brayden is mostly apolitical, but there's some things you can't be apolitical about. This definitely being one of them.
I say I'm apolitical as much as you can.
We're talking about Israel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think there was like a cut freeze. That's why we talked over each other for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They be wild.
Yeah, well, just recently they bombed a hospital. Which doing that one time it's not the first time they've bombed a hospital. Let's
No.
speak. They've leveled nearly every hospital
And then they're
in
like,
Gaza to
there's
the ground.
tunnels under it.
Yeah,
That's
or
the claim.
the excuse this time was that Hamas set up a camera at the hospital. The hospitals are Hamas, the doctors are Hamas, the teachers are Hamas, the journalists are Hamas, everything's Hamas.
Yeah.
Right? And when everything's Hamas, you can kill as many as you want, as indiscriminately as you want, and you can control the narrative because no, it's all Hamas. Especially when you bomb a hospital, wait for first responders and journalists to show up, and bomb the hospital a second time. And what happens when you kill journalists? Oh, they don't get to report the news, which means all the news comes from you.
Yeah.
So,
Although in this instance, the bombing was captured live on television as it happened.
yeah, yeah, which is really good. I mean, I'm glad that they were recording at the time and that they got it on air because that is, I mean, there were journalists that of course survived that were recording,
Yeah.
the whole thing going down, but um yeah, they got a good glimpse of the second. I watched the video of the second bombing run hit. Just ridiculous, just despicable shit. And I mean, they've been deliberately targeting journalists for quite some time now. They've killed American journalists too, not just Palestinian journalists. There have been quite a few American journalists who have gone to Gaza to report on what's going on, who have been killed. They are killing people who are waiting for aid. They will
They've
kill
closed
people
off
if they
all
don't
aid.
get their aid. They will kill people if they don't get their aid fast enough. If they take too long getting their aid, they will just shoot them. It's evil, evil shit.
Yeah, Gaza is now officially, it's obviously been like this already, but officially, or at least recognized or being talked about
As
in
a
a famine.
Yeah, and it's the famine entirely induced by
Yes.
Israel and their
'Cause
withholding of aid.
They have cut off all aid to the area, which that should let you know what's going on. Like that's just evil. I mean, I think I saw that like a bag of flour costs the equivalent of like $1,000 right now in Gaza.
Yeah. And now the state that I live in is rolling out a Florida stands with Israel license plate. If I let you merge, and I see a Florida stands with Israel license plate on your vehicle, I'm driving into you at full speed. In fact, there was one time I let somebody in. It was about a year ago. They had this ugly ass bumper sticker on their car that was filthy. God, sorry, I'm watching Nolan McLean hoops right now. Struck out the first batter, 3 in 3 pitches. Just immaculate at bat there from Nolan McLean. But we interrupt the Israel topic to bring you Nolan McLean fucking shit up as he's been doing. He's been a dog. He's not a benefactor. He's been a factor. All right. But yeah, I had gotten cut off by somebody with this abhorrent fucking bumper sticker. It was the American flag shaking hands with the Israeli flag, and it said "America stands with Israel." I don't know. I'm never letting anybody in again because if I do, that's the bullshit I'm gonna be getting seeing. So now,
Anytime I see something like that, I'm like, what do you gain from putting that there?
Right, like I got like even as like me, like I have a bumper sticker just sitting up here that I got from a charity that I donate to. I didn't put it on my car because it's not like it's just frankly not something I wanted. Like I don't like advertising politics in your vehicle. I think it's kind of dumb. Like I got one bumper sticker and it says "Don't honk at me, I'm an evil wizard." That's the type of shit you should be putting on your.
I don't have any on mine.
I had a coworker who I don't think works there anymore because I only saw this car one time, and I haven't seen it since then. But it was, excuse me. The car had a bunch of bumper stickers on it. I vividly remember one of them. It said "Florida's too hot for snowflakes," among many other things. But it was the entire rear of their vehicle covered in conservative bumper stickers, and it's like having like one, whatever, it's tacky, but like I get it. Yeah, sure. If you got like a Trump 2024 on there or whatever, or a DeSantis, if you're a Florida guy. I once saw a bumper sticker that was like Floridian farmers for Trump, and it's like, you know what? I kind of like the oddly specific ones. I think those are cute. Like, and in fact, we should get even more. We need like mother of. Okay, we're good. Whew. I don't know. We like oddly specific political bumper stickers. I think are almost funny enough to be
Mother
fun,
of
but
Mets fans for Palestine.
yeah, something like that, or like girl who owns 2 cats and has a bachelor's in whatever the fuck for universal health care. Like, sure, but yeah, having your entire car covered in them is just weird. Like I said, I don't think they worked there for very long.
It also just invites the worst stuff to possibly happen. I had a friend who had a political in nature bumper or like sticker on their windshield or whatever, and their windshield got smashed.
Yeah, that you could get your tires slashed, you could get your brake lines cut, which you're not gonna know until you need to know that happened. It's just better off just not doing it.
And then even if you have a good message on the back of your car, and you do something dumb while driving, everyone's gonna be like, "Of course, look at that! Of course they would." So you have to be a perfect driver, otherwise you're gonna be misrepresenting your own cause.
Yeah.
If you have one, oops, that's not the turn. Oops, that's not the turn. If you do that one time, people are gonna be like, "See, I knew they were all stupid."
Yep. I always say a good driver will sometimes miss their exit, but a bad driver will never miss their exit.
Yes.
Because you got those people who cut across 3 lanes just to make sure they get up, which is insane. Because if you know you're getting off soon, move the fuck over. Get in the right lane.
I'm in that right lane 2 miles before the turn. I'm not missing that bitch.
If I don't know, if I've never driven that route before, if I see 5 miles left on the GPS, I'm getting in the right.
Because I'm like, I don't know.
I'm getting over immediately.
I don't know what it's like up there. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get over. I'm getting over right now. Living in Florida and Texas, respectively, people on the road are not very nice. They don't want to let you in. So I'm gonna let myself in if I have the opportunity now. Dude, that happened to me recently. I was driving somewhere or going a route I haven't had to go to before because I was driving from this house and I don't think I'd driven straight there before. But I there was space for me to get over, so I turned my blinker on and I start to go over, and the car that was behind sped up to try to block me from being able to even get over. And I still went over, and they were honking their horn at me, and I was like, whatever, I don't care. I got in the lane. I know I'll be able to make the turn. And then they cut around, get in front of me, and go it was a 40 miles per hour zone, and they were going 20, and I was just like, whatever, I'm in the lane. I needed to be here. I got here. And it was just like, all right. But yeah, crazy drivers, dumb drivers.
Can't stand them.
It just takes one to really fuck up the whole area, though.
Yeah. And in regards to Israel, it's not even just the genocide in Gaza. It's the way it affects our politics here. Because there are very few American politicians with any semblance of a spine whatsoever when it comes to Israel, whether that be Holocaust guilt or AIPAC money or both. Yeah. Probably for a lot of people, it is they either don't talk about it or they don't talk about it the way that they should.
Yeah. And that's the worst thing as an American. You see all this stuff go on and you're like, my tax dollars probably paid for that exact missile.
Precisely. It's our money going here for this, and it's like, and we don't have a say because pretty much no matter who you vote for.
Yes, it's the reason I didn't vote. It was I don't like to vote for a couple reasons, but one of the biggest in terms of this specific race last time is I was like, that was my number one issue, and I looked at both candidates and I was like, neither of you are gonna do fucking shit about this. I remember we talked about it on my couch when you were visiting. Yeah, I was neither one. About it very briefly. Because that's the biggest one, because I think my biggest guiding principle in politics is just being anti-war, the death of innocence. And I was like, neither of you are going to help with that, so I'm not voting for either of you.
So I think it's a fairly easy position to hold. At least it should be.
You
Hey,
would
I don't
think.
think innocent people should be fucking obliterated. I was my friend just sent me like 30 minutes before we started this podcast, and like it was a clip from Adam Friedland. He had a New York congressman on his show. I forget his name, and he was like, Hamas has killed thousands of people. They're a terrorist organization. And Adam Friedland goes, well, how many people have died in this war? And he goes, well, the war is tragic. And it's like, no, 90% of them have been civilians. So if killing a few thousand civilians makes you a terrorist organization, what's the IDF? They've killed 60,000 civilians.
Because I don't like Hamas either, but of the two, one is so much clearly, like, just because of resources alone is so much worse.
Well, and you got to factor in, like, I remember I read this tweet, and it was like, if Israel had successfully wiped out Hamas but killed my entire family in the process, the first thing I'm doing is starting Hamas too.
Yeah.
And that's why their recruitment numbers are never down, because their people are constantly dying, and they want some way out of it, and the only out they really have is to go fight, and that's the only way they can really do it.
Because when they hit one of the hospitals at whatever point, one of the reasonings was like there was Hamas tunnels under it, and I was like, I don't care, don't bomb the fucking hospital.
Well, especially like the reasoning for this one, there was a camera that Hamas had put in the hospital. You're bombing a hospital over a fucking camera? Are we serious? And yeah, even if you've got like they'll bomb schools because they're like, well, there was a Hamas leader hiding out in the school. So you killed how many children to kill one guy? Like let's say I didn't like my upstairs neighbor, right? And let's say I didn't like my upstairs neighbor. Should I be able to blow up my entire apartment complex just because I don't like my upstairs neighbor? No.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. And then it does lead to one of the reasons I don't like Hamas, because I just like they're not smart, because it's like, your enemy, you know what they're willing to do. Yeah. Even though I don't even think half the time, or even more than half the time, Hamas is even actually there. If they, you can't be putting anything near these schools or hospitals. Even though, like I said, I don't think most of the time Hamas is even present there. They still just do that shit. But
no, that's just the excuse whenever they fuck up. Is like, well, because initially Netanyahu was like, hey, we accidentally bombed the hospital twice somehow. It was an accident. But then today, the statement was, oh, there was a Hamas camera at the hospital. So first it was you accidentally double tapped the hospital.
What's the camera looking at? What's the camera looking at?
It's a great question. It's a great question. I don't know. I didn't read that far. I just you're not bombing a hospital over a fucking camera. You wanted to kill people.
It's like,
it is what it is. You wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
The reason you did it a second time was you wanted to kill journalists. You wanted to kill the first responders.
Yeah.
They killed first responders not that long ago because they looked suspicious. There was an ambulance in Gaza that got blown up. Just driving regularly, but because they were driving suspiciously, didn't get blown up. They shot the people driving the ambulance because they were driving suspiciously. That was their defense, was they were driving suspiciously, so we shot them. That's a valid reason to shoot somebody, by the way, driving suspiciously. Yeah. That's a good reason to end someone's life.
Vibe's not
because
right.
You don't like the way they're driving. Mine's not right. Nah. Yeah. It's one thing, like, their propaganda is like they expect us to not only believe this shit, but also that these are justifiable reasons to do what they're doing. Oh, no, it's okay, guys. We didn't just shoot him for no reason. We didn't like the way he was driving. Yeah. Like, that's supposed to make it okay? Or, like...
And then we're going to cut off...
The journalist they killed a couple weeks ago. Oh, fuck. That's unfortunate.
And we're going to cut off all humanitarian aid to the region because... Yeah. Well, those kids might grow up to be Hamas, which I don't know why they would.
Maybe, possibly, maybe. Even let's assume every child in Gaza, or even just most of them, are going to become us. Why are you not letting any of them even get a chance to grow up before deciding their lives, what they might become? And what many of them will become. So, it is what it is.
There it goes. I think we got the gist of that message, but it was really cut up. Yeah. chopped up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
And then it's bleeding over into mayoral campaigns in America. Where are you going to be visiting when you become mayor of New York? Israel.
Zoran gave a great answer. He just said, "Well, I'm just going to stay in New York." And
Yeah.
the question wasn't even like, "Will you be visiting Israel?" It was just,
Where
what will
would you
your
go?
first foreign visit be?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not taking a foreign visit. My responsibilities are to the people of New York. I'm going to
Yeah.
stay in New York." And then they asked him, "Do you think Israel has the right to exist?" That was the follow-up question. Like,
Yeah.
he's not running for mayor of Tel Aviv. He's running for mayor of New York.
Yeah. His
I
response
understand New York.
his response, like Tucker Carlson was speaking positively of his response. He's
Yeah.
like, he's the only guy
says
who
a
answered
lot.
the question right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene said that was a good response. When Marjorie Taylor Greene is the voice of reason, you have severely fucked up. She says it's a genocide.
I think that's
Now, granted, it took them attacking a Christian church for her to say that, which, tens of thousands of dead Muslims didn't bother her one bit. 3 dead Christians, and all of a sudden she thinks it's a genocide. Not that those deaths aren't just as awful as every other death.
Right.
It's just the fact that she only said something when it happened to,
Yeah.
known Christians in a place of worship.
I think Candace Owens, I haven't kept up. I don't keep up with anybody politically, but I think I had seen her, like, she was starting to sway more towards the pro-Palestinian side, and people were like, "Oh, Candace Owens is starting to go woke. We're losing her."
Well, I wouldn't say woke. Some of her, she also just doesn't like Jews very much. Is what some people you got to ask them, like, in your own words, explain why. Because she's also.
There's a lot
not
of
a big fan
issues
of the
where
Jewish
it's
people.
like, where like somebody could be on the right side, but once you look at their reasoning, you're like, "Oh, I hate how you got here. You got here the worst way."
Every time I see like a Palestinian account like reposting like a Nick Fuentes clip, I'm like, you wonder, like, this guy's a self-admitted Nazi. Like, we don't need to be taking.
Yeah.
Like, there's enough people saying enough. We maybe don't need to be pulling from this source. Even in the clips that they'll show, he'll be like, he'll say something bad about Jewish people as a whole, not Israel. And it's like,
Yeah. Because that's a big thing as well. Like,
guys,
Israel
like-
does not equal the entire world's
No, of
Jewish
course not.
population. I've seen a lot of, like, I remember there was something happened in Europe where, like, a bunch of Jewish people just got attacked out there, and the comment section was like, "Good karma, that's karma, good." And I was like, "All right, you guys are losing the plot."
Shit like that. I'm not there. And I saw, there was a guy who just like poured out his water on a Jewish guy, and I'm like, well, okay, if he knows that guy's a Zionist, like if he knows him personally and he knows he's a big Zionist, sure, whatever. But if that's just he just saw a random Jew on the street and decided he was gonna pour water on him, no, you can't do shit like that. So
Yeah, I've seen and heard. I've seen and heard of plenty of Jewish Americans voicing their hate for what Israel is doing.
Which is why the anti-Zionism equals anti-Semitism argument will never work, because there's plenty of Jews all over the world who are not Zionists, and to weaponize anti-Semitism to stake your claim is just reducing the actual awareness of anti-Semitism. And it's the reason you're seeing people celebrating when, like you said, like when something bad just happens to a Jewish person, because anti-Semitism has lost its meaning, because it's the spam defense for any criticism of Israel. So another once again a case of when you water the usage of a word down too much, you fail to then get an accurate picture of what it really is when you do see it. But
yeah,
I don't know. It sucks. I'm not a fan, not fond of what's going on over there. Benjamin Netanyahu, I hope your pillow's very warm tonight.
But dude,
hope there's no cold side.
The worst thing about him, man, he likes Burger King more than McDonald's.
Yeah, the guy who said, like, I think that's your worst take. Like, that's your worst take?
Because he was on the fucking Nelk Boys. And then the Nelk Boys afterwards were like, yeah, now that we kind of know a little bit more about him, maybe we wouldn't have had him on the podcast. It's like, why the fuck did you not?
No, you knew. You knew. You couldn't. You didn't.
Honestly, those guys, they might not have.
I saw somebody today, like, because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce just got engaged. It took us a while to mention that. Wow, it's almost like it's not that important.
Speak for your fucking self.
This is 9/11 for the Gaylor Swift subreddit.
Dude,
Oh my god, they were going through it.
Dude, Travis Trans is
Transvis Kelsey is happening. That's the only way. Like, how can Gaylor still win this election? Transvis Kelsey is the only way Gaylors can still win.
But it doesn't even make sense because it's like she knew him looking like that, very obviously male presenting.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, like the men that she's dated, like Jake Gyllenhaal, like
not the most effeminate men.
These are like, she's dated a lot of sleaze bags too. Like, her taste in men, I think, is pretty telling that she's definitely just a straight woman. Is that Yard? That went foul. Fuck.
Who was I watching? But somebody was just like, those people were so dumb. Like, look at Taylor Swift. She's the least cunty woman I've ever seen. Like, this would be a huge blow to the lesbian community if you
built a straight woman in a lab, it would be Taylor Swift. Like,
yeah, like a 5'10" blonde white woman.
Yeah, who's vast majority of her, like a lot of her hit songs are about men, about breakups with men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, so rest in peace to the Gaylors. They're not having a great day. But also, you're weird.
Yeah, to be so obsessed with a celebrity's sexuality.
Another hobby. Well, and to project your sexuality onto them because you heard one line in a song that you thought maybe could have been sapphic. Like, can we be serious for a fucking second?
Cut back to her just being like, "And you're gay." Like,
yeah,
which we've talked about before. A woman's go-to. Just like, let me be homophobic real quick.
Yep. He doesn't like me.
Gay.
He's gay. He must be gay.
There's no shot that this straight dude is sexist. Not a possibility. He's just gay.
He's just gay. Yeah. What was that? What point was I getting to with that? What was I talking about before that? Because I had a thought. Hang on. Oh, and there was a Taylor Swift fan account on Twitter who was like, "Yeah, but he's still a Republican Zionist," which I don't think there's ever been any mention of him being either of those things.
No,
but somebody had quote tweeted that saying, "If you asked Travis Kelsey what a Zionist was, he would tell you he's a big fan of Zion Williamson's game."
Yeah,
like, yeah, probably.
I know a lot of it stems just because I think Trump shouted him out or something. And he was just like, appreciate it. Like, it was like the Lamar Jackson style thing where it just like it was something to that effect.
People also use that with Joe Burrow with that the picture at the UFC fight where like Nick Bosa for one obviously made him take that picture. Like that was he was there with Nick and Nick was like, yeah, because they were teammates at Ohio State, I'm pretty sure. And like Joe did not look very like he wanted to be there in that picture, but he took the picture. So people are like, even though Joe Burrow, he's a little woke at least. If like he's very adamantly like pro-abortion at least. But I mean like people will see that picture and they're like, well, obviously that it's like it's a fucking picture.
Yeah.
A picture where he's not even smiling. Like, can we be serious for a fucking?
I'm trying to think. I think it was pre-second term. Like, oh, a picture with a former president. All right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It was while Biden was president. I think it was like halfway through his term, and at a UFC fight with Nick Bosa, who we all know Nick Bosa's political beliefs.
Yeah. I just like all former. Living current or former and current presidents of my lifetime. I'd probably take a picture with any of them. Just whisper in their ear. You killed so many civilians.
That reminds me. Sometimes my favorite screenshot one of my favorite screenshots makes the rounds. It's been making the rounds recently. It's like because Obama does like his summertime playlist every year. So somebody was like, I don't care if Obama listens to Mitski. He bombed my cousin. Somebody goes, well, was your cousin a terrorist? And he's like, he dealt with things of that sort. He dealt with things of that sort. So, oh well.
I was thinking earlier about like who the best president of my lifetime is. And I was thinking about it for a minute and I was like, does it somehow by default just be Joe Biden for only being one term?
You know,
I was thinking about it,
didn't have
and
enough
I was
time
like,
to do a whole lot of evil. I guess
I was sitting there and I was just like, fuck, I think it's him.
Well, it would have Gore had he won. It probably would have been Al Gore at least had he won against Bush.
We'll never know.
Well, frankly, I'm not convinced he didn't win against Bush, but yeah. But we got as far as our lifetime goes, it definitely ain't Bush. It ain't Trump. I don't want to say Biden or Obama, but I wouldn't feel good about saying that about anything. But it might be by default just because he only served one term.
Yeah, no, it's when I think of like fucking school and hospital bombings, I think of Obama.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his trademark. That was his spicy pea
signature move.
Yeah. So, that was his thing. I just hope at some point in my lifetime I get an election where I don't particularly hate at least one of the candidates. That would be nice. A decent electable candidate in my lifetime would be pretty. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But
thank you. I'll probably vote next election if just one candidate runs on a Stop Funding Israel campaign.
Yeah. I'll take sanctions at this point. Fuck it. Bless you. Anything other than the status quo would be better than where we're at right now. So
just stop funding. Not even sanctions. Yeah. Just stop giving them the money.
You know how much shit we could do here with all that money?
A lot.
If we just stop sending it that way for no fucking reason. But yeah. Oh, real quick, I did want to talk about Shadur Sanders, just the Browns quarterback situation in general. Not for long because this topic's been done to death by many people.
Go Flacco.
But you've got there was some mostly some nonsensical stuff like 4 of the 5 offensive linemen that were blocking for him in the third preseason game got cut. It's like, yeah, he was playing in the third corner of the final preseason game. A lot of those guys do not make the roster. It's usually how that goes. You don't want guys out there who are going to be playing for you on Sundays in that last preseason game. You want guys out there who are going to eat up the rest of the game so you can get out of there healthy. But on top of that, people claiming he didn't get the same opportunities as Dillon Gabriel. For one, there were plenty of quick games where he just didn't get the ball out in time because his feet weren't set. A lot of plays like this where he had heavy feet in the pocket when his receiver got open. He wasn't set. He wasn't ready to throw. And then he made things worse by stepping into pressure or running backwards instead of stepping up. And then, even as far as like, if it were true that they didn't provide them, that was a nasty painted corner on a full count right there. No one's so fucking filthy. That they were not provided equal opportunities. The Browns are under no obligation to provide the lower draft pick the same opportunity as the player who was higher on their board. That's just not how football has ever worked. Like, especially for RG3 to be saying this, like, in his Browns jersey for some fucking reason.
He wanted to let you know.
He was wearing his Browns jersey from 2017, I think, when he played for them. When they went 0-16, he was their quarterback for a few games. When he was like, they didn't get the same opportunity. It's like, Kirk Cousins didn't get the same opportunity when you were drafted. It wasn't until you were injured that he got on the field and proved he was the better quarterback. So it's just never been how that works.
Yeah,
like draft pedigree absolutely matters as far as how you are.
I know they like to say, like, once you get in this building, it doesn't matter where you were drafted. All right, buddy, that's a lie.
No. If Traylon Burks was a 6th-round pick, he'd have been cut 2 years ago, and he wouldn't have gotten the leash he did last year playing over Nick Westbrook-Akine. So,
I mean, the only place I could believe that to a degree is like peak Patriots,
Yeah.
like especially Tom Brady specifically, he genuinely did not care where you were drafted, but like
Yeah.
the management and all that, that's a different story.
Yeah. Bears.
Players don't care where you're drafted, but management definitely does.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it's just never worked that way. I don't know where this is coming from, frankly, but yeah, some nonsensical stuff being said. And like I don't think Shador is like a hopeless quarterback. Like he's very accurate already. Footwork, really just ability to manage the pocket really is his biggest weakness. And it's a huge weakness, but honestly, if he got good at that, I would feel totally fine about him starting for a team. But if they think Dylan Gabriel's further along, if they think he's just more ready to be the backup quarterback right now, possibly the starter, because you're probably not expecting Flacco to play all 17. You're going to see what the young guys have eventually, because I can't imagine Cleveland's going to be very
given
good
his
this year.
age, you'll probably be forced to see what they have eventually.
Yeah. He might retire at halftime of week 4.
I mean, I've heard Dylan Gabriel's like better in the film room, which is usually what you want the backup to be anyways.
Right.
Even if you think everything else kind of goes to Shador, like if the film room he's better, you probably would just name him the backup when it doesn't matter.
And based on the the Brian Daboll stuff that came out right after the draft, like how their last meeting went, I don't doubt it for a second that Dylan Gabriel's better in the film room right now.
I forgot about that whole story, yeah.
Yeah, because of Shador showed up unprepared after Brian Daboll had showed him some of the install stuff and expected him to have learned some of it the next time they met. And when he didn't like that he didn't learn it, Shador took exception to that. So, I mean, if a guy doesn't want to be coachable before you even draft him, I get why the Giants took Jackson Dart in that situation. So yeah, like I don't have any difficulty believing Gabriel at this current moment is better in the film. It doesn't mean that can't change, but there's a level of ego that comes with being the kind of star that Shador has been in his lifetime, having the camera on him because of his dad's Deion Sanders. So, and the camera's still on him. He was a 5th round draft pick. He's been the 3rd string quarterback all off season long, and he's getting talked about way more than Cam Ward is. So, which is probably the way Cam Ward prefers anyway. But hi, Katie. But yeah, is what it is. But
I mean, if Cam Ward went to somewhere not Tennessee, maybe he'd be talked about a little more.
Maybe, but he also has a pretty low key personality. So I don't know where he would have gone that he would have been like, because going to the worst team in the league.
A realistic option or just like any market?
Well, okay, if he went to New York,
which I guess was also real.
Oh, it was a foul. Thought Beatty just homered. Ow! Hey, why are you eating my leg? Yeah. Anywho, hey, stop eating me. Stop it. Just trying to.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. Oh. Through God's grace, Brett Beatty gets on base. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, it was a double. Extra base hit for my Pookie Bear. Yeah, I don't think I got much else on that topic. Or any topic for that matter. Other than if we want to move on to getting deep. Or if you have anything else you want to talk about.
No, I think I'm all good. Icebreaker. If you could pick one chore to never have to do again, what would it be?
Dishes. By far and away dishes. I actually like doing laundry. Laundry's pretty easy. Yeah. I fucking hate doing the dishes.
So if this means like it is always, which is obviously how you got to interpret it. It's always perfect, like done all times. I would probably just say vacuuming. With this dog hair floating around, like if it's always good, that'd probably be the best for me. Just keep that dog hair at bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Sam.
Deep.
Deep.
What fictional character do you relate to the most and why? Ooh, relate.
That's
Interesting.
a good one. Relate is an interesting,
Yeah.
premise there because that I don't know.
Because it's like, who's out here?
Shit. Oh, it's fair. Oh, Beatty's going home. Fuck yeah. Awesome. And Sanger's at third. Okay, Mets are up 1-0 right now. Mets just took the Mets just struck first in the third inning here. God, fictional character that because like resonate with is a different thing because I would
Yeah.
just choose Anne right away and that's no question about it.
Choose who?
Anne.
Oh.
Speaking of Israel, though, known Zionist Harrison Bader just failed to make that play in center field. So, very nice. Uh, damn. I have a hard time, like, I don't know, relating to fictional character. Like,
Because like a story of my life would be boring, like in comparison to all these other stories out there, like it would just be boring. So it's like
right.
they're not making stories with me as the main character. They're making people with, maybe the beliefs of me as main characters, but me? Nah.
You know what? I will choose N, because why not? There's no rule saying I can't. So, I'm taking N. And is
Give
also a great
me
example of how good people can be radicalized by people with bad intentions. Uh, Great metaphor for that too. It's not why I relate to him, mind you, but it's just picking him just cause.
Oh, no. Give me Shoya from Silent Voice. Gonna go with that one.
Splendid.
Deeper. What's the hardest news you've ever had to break to someone? Oh, brother. I'm never really a messenger.
Um,
Maybe just was it, yeah, hardest? Maybe just telling my mom I wanted to drop out of college.
I've only ever broken up with one partner. I've been broken up with every other time, so I'd probably say breaking up with that one was pretty difficult, just because I didn't have much experience doing it. Uh,
This guy's
and
bragging over here.
I've never
Multiple
really been
partners.
the I've never really been the type to what do you call it? Have to break news to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't got it.
Yeah. All right. Those are our deeps. Are you ready?
Yes.
Top 3 of the week.
Was that caught at all?
Yes. Players we would give injury-free careers to.
This is any sport. Just player athletes that we wish, it can be current or former, just guys that have either had their career derailed or at least considerably harmed by injuries.
Injuries or any medical.
Fuck it. Any like could be a heart condition, could be like whatever, anything that prevents them from being able to play, and that affected the long-term career outlook. Yeah,
Okay.
that counts. Fucking ripped that one.
Do you want to kick us off or you want me?
You got it.
Okay, my number 3, I'm going to go with the pick for this category. Like, this is probably the most popular pick for this category, especially, or at least within, like, maybe our generation, maybe a tad older. It's the number 1 pick for this category. For the number 1 pick out of Chicago, and would be the number 1 pick for this category in Chicago for sure. Give me number 1, Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I mean he's a pretty easy one to pick as far as being an MVP his sophomore season, and then just having it completely completely go downhill shortly thereafter. His knees just fucked him. Yeah, no, good selection there, certainly.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
just the youngest MVP. What could his career really have turned out to be? Especially during the time when like the East was as weak as it is, like having just another prominent player in that conference, like how does that really change people's careers and their reputations and stuff like that? Does LeBron go to however many straight if there's, a healthy Derrick Rose that entire time there? Yeah, I'd like to think he gets one trip in there. I'm not saying he becomes this dominant force, top 10 player all time, but with how good he looked early on, could he have gotten one in there, one trip in there? Not even the ring itself, but just one trip to the finals in there. I'd like to think he would.
Fair enough.
Your number 3.
I'm also going to go with the basketball player. This one a little more career success, but the 2020s for him have been completely fucked. I'm gonna go with Kawhi Leonard. Probably the best two-way player
he'd probably
ever.
still be. That would change so much.
Right, I'm looking at the landscape of it as a whole. How much would be different if Kawhi had?
Well, just because he probably never leave San Antonio.
Yeah.
The Spurs wouldn't have Wemby right now. Probably, Wemby's out saving another franchise.
He's saving the Wizards or some shit right now. Well, that would be terrible.
I definitely think they rigged that lottery, so I think he would still go to a better either team or market.
Yeah, he'd go to a better spot. Whoever would need it right now.
Either the team would be better or the market would be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, probably not Washington. But
hopefully not. Fuck it. He's catching passes from LaMelo Ball right now.
He's catching passes from LeVar Ball in this alternate future. Fuck. We got LeVar playing point guard for whoever.
Point forward.
Fuck it. Only 2 men better than me, and I'm both of them. Oh, is he out? Oh, they called him safe. That's honestly, I might not agree. Kawhi Leonard number 3. Your number 2.
My number 2. This is the reason I asked if it could be medical or just specifically injuries. Let that Cowboys offensive line stay a powerhouse a little bit longer. Let me save Travis Frederick from I forgot the name of his condition or whatever he had that forced him to stop playing. But man, like just that offensive line, maybe Zeke, his fall off is a little more gradual. Maybe Dak stays upright a little bit longer. I mean, the communication with the center, those extra couple years of even better chemistry. Maybe the Cowboys win one more playoff game. Not one more Super Bowl, just one more playoff game. Who knows? Just having a fucking brick house of an offensive line. And that was one of the first, player retirements, early that really got me. I was like, fuck. Because it was around the time, I had just gotten into football, 2 years prior or something like that. I can't remember when he retired, but, something like that, 2-3 years. So it was the first one for my own team where it was just like, shit. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But your number 2.
Just to piggyback on that, this isn't somebody on my list, but also I would like to extend that courtesy to Frank Ragnow, who just retired this past off season. I think 28 years old at center. Fuck injuries. But for especially elite offensive linemen, it always sucks when they have to walk away. For him, it was his neck. But my number 2, I of course recently have started watching baseball. I know Gabe would co-sign on me with this. I'm gonna go with Mike Trout.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Because as phenomenal player as he's been hurt a lot, especially in the last few years. It's even this year, which is considered a terrible year for his standard, he still has 20 home runs this year. Phenomenal baseball player.
I mean, I've heard people put him in GOAT convos.
It wouldn't be a convo if he had never been hurt, frankly, to my knowledge. If he had never been hurt. That's what
it sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, had he just been healthy, had he had a full healthy career, it would be no conversation. Everybody would just know it's Mike Trout. So, Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mike Trout here for, as a recent baseball lover, I would like to see him have had a fully healthy career. Your number Juan.
My number one. This is the dumbest pick I could pick for this because this player has already had. They're not even that far deep into their career.
Yeah.
But I'm protecting their future, and I hate that my last memory of them as a member of my favorite team is them hobbling off the court. I am bulletproofing Luka Doncic. I don't give a fuck. It would hurt his aura a little bit because he plays and hoops while hurt. That does add to it. Like his 40-point triple-double against the Clippers with a game-winning 3 was on a hurt ankle. That adds to it. And then he carries that team to the finals bleeding from his knees, and they question his heart.
His knees are always fucking bleeding. He's just always bleeding.
But they were questioning his fucking heart. Anyways, the worst men in the world, it goes Benjamin Netanyahu, Nico Harrison, and then whoever the fuck the Mavs owner is right now. I don't even know his name off the top of my head. I don't even want to know his name off the top of my head.
And then it's Jerry Jones after that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If we're looking at it holistically, Jerry Jones is definitely a worse man than Nico Harrison. Like, grand scheme of things. Not even just
maybe.
the sports,
I don't know about that.
He's an oil tycoon. I think we can safely say he's up there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Nico Harrison bombed the city, destroyed a top 5 populated city in the U.S.
Bombed the city.
He hurt me. He hurt me. I get to put him too. He hurt me specifically.
Right. He hurt my best friend. Number one here.
Yeah.
Going with this player for number one made me realize I do have another currently active player that I want to protect. God, please take away all of Rashawn Slater's pain and give it to Deshaun Watson again, because this is ridiculous. Can't keep having that. But I'm going with a different Chargers player for my number one here. I've got Jason Verrett. Truly dominant corner for 2 years of his career because he was hurt in all the other ones. And I mean, this guy, every year it was a different, just devastating, knees getting obliterated left and right. Play that one really healthy, really great year in San Francisco after he left LA. Just a guy that everyone unanimously agreed, if he was on the field, he's an all-pro, but he was just never on the field. And we're talking about, a top 5, in the league talented corner who was never on the field. Just how many times he got hurt. It's really unfortunate. So I'm hoping now that the same thing does not happen to Rashawn Slater. I'm hoping Rashawn Slater, this is the last time he's hurt. And it fucking better be, frankly, because he doesn't deserve that. Phenomenal football player. I don't want to see that. But yeah. I guess that does it for that.
Yeah. Now it's time for what we've been on. You can kick us off on this one since I did the top 3.
I've been listening to music.
Right. Shocking. Breaking news.
Breaking news. I actually didn't listen to any of these when they came out. I had to catch up this whole week, yesterday and the day before, mostly. New Deftones album. Really good. I mean, it's standard operating procedure for Deftones. You've got a pretty good album with a couple of elite songs on it. So yeah, shout out Deftones. New Quanic album, signed to the same label as Jane Remover and Quadeca. He's on the Dead Air Records roster. I quite like Quanic. Think he's gotten better every album. I think this is his best album. Liked it quite a bit. New Leve album. I know Gabe was loving this. I was not quite as high on it. I think it's her music in general is just not my cup of tea. I've come to discover, listening to the last album and listening to this one, it's just nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me. I don't think, not my favorite. And then new Sir Chloe album. I don't think this is as good as her last album, but I liked it well enough. And then also my first Earl Sweatshirt album. I had never listened to an Earl Sweat. That is not a ball. That was paint. My first Earl Sweatshirt album. Never listened to an Earl Sweatshirt album. I had never listened to an Earl Sweatshirt album before yesterday. Listened to his new one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, standard operating procedure for a conscious hip hop album. I think it was really nice. So I had a good time listening to it. It's a song that really stuck with me called Tourmaline. I like that one a lot. And then new singles from Geese, 100 Horses. Great song. Very excited for the Geese album in about a month from now. New Maruja single called Trenches came out this morning. Phenomenal song, although it's quite silly that they have now 4 singles in a 9-song album. They've spoiled half the album. I think 2 would have been enough. Like 1 even would be the preference there, but like 9 songs, you've revealed 4 of them already. All right, whatever floats your boat. Album comes out in just over 2 weeks now, so but definitely excited for that one. And then new Wednesday song. Shout out Wednesday the Retata. New Wednesday song is good. Wednesday has gone 4 for 4 on the singles for their new album. I'm starting to think this might be some heat. Rest in peace, Wednesday the Retata. First Pokemon Brayden ever lost in a Nuzlocke.
Maybe it was a sacrifice. Maybe
sacrifice for Wednesday to finally make a good album.
It might have been.
Because not the last album wasn't bad. It was very up and down listen. The only song
you made me name that rat after a band. You're like,
I just heard it, so I was like, fuck, because the album was called Rat Saw God. That's why I wanted to name the Retata after Wednesday. So,
that would have really worked. Heart and Gold when we go up the bell tower, and the only thing you can catch there was a Retata.
I was gonna say that rat did see God very quickly into the playthrough.
Okay, well that joke was unnecessary. A highlight. It's a highlight. Unfortunately, I mean low light in a way, but highlight.
Yeah, definitely. Had to find out the hard way that poison is not kind to you in the first 4 generations of Pokemon. But also, I've been speaking of Pokemon. I've been playing this gym of mine. Started playing that, and I started playing Pokemon Odyssey as well because they finished Pokemon Odyssey recently, about 2 months ago. So trying to tap in, see what's up there.
There's the general premise of that game?
So it's a much different. It's almost like a roguelike, kind of. You go into. There's 8 stratums, just like there would be 8 gym badges, but like each stratum, you only have a certain amount of stamina points in there. So you can only perform so many actions in the stratum before you have to go back to the surface. And so it's kind of like a roguelike in that sense. So that's pretty cool. There's different Pokemon you can find in each stratum. There are a bunch of different regional forms. Like there's Dragon, Electric, Electivire. There's even some regional forms that just change the appearance of the Pokemon, not the typing. Like Meditite and Medicham are still fighting Psychic. They just look cooler now. My favorite one so far, Water, Fire, Magmortar. Yeah, I had to get the Magby on my team as soon as possible. I need that. I need that Fire, Water, Magmortar. That's awesome. Such a fun type combo. So I'm liking it so far. I only played it the one day. I haven't touched it much since then. But yeah, having a good time with it. So we'll report as I continue going. And I think that's about it for what I've been on. I don't think I've been on anything else like of consequence. So yeah, a lot of music and then a couple Pokemon ROMs. Music. What about you, sir? What was going on?
I was trying to think. What the fuck have I been? So I know I've still been watching American Dad.
Young Justice as well. I've been watched a few more
Oh
episodes.
yeah, where are you at?
Okay, so just watched the episode where they blow up Mount Justice.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I got. Yeah, well, because I saw like they were fighting Aqualad early, and I'm like, and I'm like, what the hell happened? Because I'm like, there's so much going on with the time skip.
Yes.
Oh my god, the funniest shit was when Not Speedy was in his apartment, and then Cheshire comes in, and I'm like, what the hell does this bitch want? And then she I'm already complaining about there being like, I'm not complaining, I'm already like, man, there's so much shit that's the status quo is completely shifted. And then she says they were married, and I immediately paused the TV. John's in the kitchen cooking dinner, and I'm like, John, they're fucking married? And he's laughing his ass off. As soon as I unpaused the TV, she said the word baby, and I'm like, she's like, you ain't paying no goddamn child support. Like, I'm already losing my mind. I can't believe he held it together knowing what I was about to hear, but I'm already losing my mind over them just being married.
Yeah.
As soon as I unpause the TV again, I hear baby, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What?
Uh, yeah.
They have the baby?
Let's go. So yeah, that was nuts.
So,
But
did they then go off on a mission? Did you see that?
yeah. Then they went to go save the other Speedy.
Okay, yeah.
The real boy, and then he went to go square up with Lex, and then
Yes.
Lex gave him a new arm.
Bro, that shit was so fucking awesome.
That's so cool.
So awesome.
And then, yeah, so that was a few episodes before they blew up Mount Justice, and then now Wally's starting not to trust Aqualad, which is like, okay, whatever.
Well, because do you know why? Like why Aqualad went to the evils?
He's undercover. Yeah, he's undercover.
Do you know like the story, like the reason why they say he went to the...
Yeah. Tula died, and also Black Manta's his father. Yeah, they go over that pretty early on.
I know that there was like a tie-in video game, Young Justice Legacy, where like the missions you play in that game are the ones where Tula dies. But I remember having that game on like a laptop, my mom's laptop, and not being able to get it to work. And I was like, maybe this is just me. And I was watching a video earlier, and people were like, this game fucking sucked and could not run. I was like, all right, cool. Not just me.
Yep, not just you.
Yeah. But then I also know there's some tie-in comics for the Gap as well.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen the one with
Nightwing and Zatanna.
Yeah, I've seen that panel.
Say it backwards.
Yeah.
Hold up, Mr. Grayson. Hold up.
I've seen the panel.
That would be the one positive, and literally like the only positive to if they don't do Robert Pattinson for the DCU and they do just do like an older, more established Batman, having the Bat family around, mainly Dick Grayson as Nightwing, will be hopefully good. We'll see who they cast.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Brett Beatty is now 2 for 2 at the plate so far. The best player in baseball. I would love to have a Nightwing on screen. The Bat family in general will be fun, assuming they do stick with that. Again, my only qualm would be that I really wish they would have started with Tim Drake and not Damian, because what do you do with Tim Drake if Damian's there?
Because there's not enough to his character.
Whatever. You sleeping on the Red Robin.
Because if they already got Damian, then what's Tim doing? Not a goddamn thing. That's what.
Being Red Robin. Being Red Robin.
Oh, cool. Nice name, dude.
It is a nice name. He's young.
For a fucking burger joint.
Nah, it's a great name for a superhero.
Hell nah.
Don't catch that. Thank goodness. Yeah, I think that's about it for me, though. I don't know. You want to finish what you've been on?
So I've been watching American Dad, and it's always funny when you're watching a show and like you see something from a meme you've seen before, because I've seen Dirk Nowitzki edits that start off with an American Dad clip where he's like, manage my fantasy basketball team for me.
I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I love that one.
You sent it to the group chat.
She's like, you need a power forward. I have Dirk Nowitzki.
It cuts to hit, Dirk Durkin.
Yeah.
But she calls him a soft bitch, and then that's how the rest of that actual clip goes. She's like, you need like Ron Artest. Wow. What a terrible suggestion.
Yeah.
It was so bad that he was like, all right, I'm gonna let Steve handle my fantasy team.
Hi, Onyx.
But then in that clip, Steve just heard the fantasy part and tried to add orcs to his roster. And they were like, and Francine was like, because like I guess Stan got mad about something else, but Steve was like, did he see what I did to his fantasy team? And she was like, you've really disappointed your family, son. Damn. Yeah, I haven't really been on much else, just been busy, which is a move and all that.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, no, I really think that's about it for me. I'm ready to end it if you are.
I got one more thing I want to throw in there because the Mets have been hitting well today. Somebody, like, with how well Nolan McLean had been pitching, the Mets' best pitcher ever is Jacob deGrom. There have been people saying, "Oh, he's the next deGrom," but every time Jacob deGrom was pitching, they would always lose pretty frequently because the Mets were so bad they couldn't get any hits. So people are saying like Nolan McLean can't be Jacob deGrom because Nolan McLean's actually getting run support, which fair, in all honesty, because in the first 2 games he got legitimate run support. Today so far, the Mets have 7 hits in 4 innings. 3 runs. So they're getting run support today. McLean so far been getting a lot of run support in the games he's been playing in. So
dude, you are a floating head right now.
Yep. Yeah, I know it's dark. Here, let me scoot a little closer. I got a neck.
I am the Wizard of Oz.
I'm Modok, and I'm not a dick.
All right, that's going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, once again, the pod, but it'll be in a new location next week as I have moved. But thank you guys so much for watching. Comment your opinions on Israel in the comments below. And subscribe to catch more. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep gaming and fuck Nico Harrison and fuck Jerry Jones.